welcome to this month's vlog, whatever you want to call it, crafting vlog video. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, welcome. I've got my cup of fresh peppermint tea from the garden. The sun is shining. It's actually really warm for the first time ever in the UK, and I'm feeling amazing, absolutely wonderful. I hope you all are too. Yeah, welcome to this month's vlog. And we have got my notes again because I can't remember what I've done this month. It just all blurs into one. Time speeds by, and before I know it, I'm uploading another video. So we have got some spinning, as always. An update on my artwork behind me. As you can see, I've not actually done much more. It's taken time because art takes me a while because I have to do layer upon layer, and I do like quite a bit of detail. So I've tended to focus on other things at the moment. I've been making medicine bags, Native American medicine bags, which I've put in a short, which you can see. They're uploading to my shop as this video goes out. And I've been using my hand spun yarns for those. So they're just something different, and I really enjoyed making them. I'd like to make lots more, so I'm really hoping people buy them so that I can make more, because there's no point in them all sitting in a box in my room, is there? So go and buy one. Right, what else have we got? New project. Oh yeah, my new project was the medicine bag, so I've just told you about that one. Making raw chocolate. I've just made some more today, and I've added seeds and nuts, and oh my goodness, it's so good for you and it's so delicious. But you can see that further on in this video. I've made my own buttons as well this month out of wood. You can see that as well. That was a really therapeutic process. I love using natural materials and, you know, making things from wood. I used to make wands and sort of spiritual apparatus a few years ago. I love doing that, but I stopped doing that, and obviously I make so many different things I can't keep up with myself sometimes. I talked to you about reading because I love reading a good book, and a bit of gardening too, or should I say growing your own food, because I believe that's, you know, important. Excuse me, talking so much, I need a sip of my tea. Talking of growing food, peppermint seed, grown that from my garden, and it's so fresh. It's lovely. Anyway, I'll let you get into the vlog because it's a long one this month, so I hope you enjoy it. And as I say, I hope you're all well. Thanks for watching. Take care. In my basket today, I'm going to be spinning up all 4 of these fibres onto one bobbin. They're only sort of about 20-25 grams each. Bit more on these 2, I think, but hopefully they'll all fit on one of my larger bobbins. I think we have an alpaca mix with merino there. Same with this one. This one we got possibly tussar silk and merino. It's really super soft. And this one is an art bat I've made myself out of natural fibres that aren't dyed or anything like that. And I'm not quite sure, but again, it's quite soft. And I'll show you the results once they're all spun up.
지금 우린 함께 할 수 있을까 Baby 네 눈을 보면 알 수 있을까 너도 내 맘과 같았으면 좋겠어 네 조금 느린 발걸음이 나는 좋았어 Barefoot, barefoot Take off your shoes and step in the bed 싶을 때 내가 보고 싶을 때 또 네가 많이 아플 때 이 노래를 들어줘 절대 추운 날은 없을 거야 Cause I'll be with you 오늘도 좋은 꿈만 꿨으면 좋겠어 baby Barefoot, barefoot Take off your shoes and step in the bed Barefoot, barefoot 우린 같은 온도에 있어 푸른 네 바닷속은 얼마나 깊을까
I have managed to get all 4 different fibres onto this one larger bobbin. So I shall let it rest overnight and then I shall be Navajo plying it tomorrow. I'm not overly keen on spinning fibres with silk and a lot of hair in because as you can see, look at the state of my apron. I've now got to try and get that all off. And unfortunately, it gets walked around the carpets in the house, which proves to be a nightmare to hoover up. Next is this green one that I've been putting off. It's just not my colours. The only reason I made it was because I had a load of botany lap waste and you can't choose what gets sent to you. And unfortunately, a load of green was sent to me. So I tried to make the best that I could of it. It's got a bit of sparkle in it, but I'm not overly excited to spin this, but I'm going to do it and get it out the way anyway. So I have Navajo plied all those 5 yarns that I spun yesterday, and I'm now soaking them in water just so I can set the twist. I shall leave them in here for about half an hour, drain the water off and pop them on the washing line. Whilst waiting for those yarns to soak before I can hang them on the washing line, it's a really foggy day, so they're not actually going to dry out there, but I'll let them drip dry so the water goes everywhere outside, not indoors. I'm really into reading. I love my books, and I'm going to sit here with a lovely cup of peppermint tea and read a book. I want to finish this massive book in front of me, which I'll show you in a second. I've been reading it for a while, and there's quite a few books in the series, and this one's a really huge book. And then I've got another one that I want to reread that I've read a couple of times in the past, and then I picked one up at the charity shop this morning that also looks really good. So that's got to go into the book stack by the side of my bed, where I've got about 10 books I want to read. But normally what I tend to do is go to bed, read a book until I'm literally dropping the book on me and falling asleep. So I don't get much reading done, and I feel it's important to read, and I do like getting absorbed into a good book. So I'm going to make time for it during my day. I'll just show you what I'm reading, so I shall turn the camera around. This is the book I'm reading at the moment. I really want to get finished this afternoon. As you can see, it's a pretty huge book, and I've got not much more to read, so I'd like to get it done and then I can move on to another one. I'm sitting with my 2 little cats who are fast asleep either side of me, so I shall have a nice feet up cup of tea and a book read. Catch you later. Here are the yarns all spun up, and I have chain plied them. We've got the grey one. We've done the green, which actually didn't turn out as bad as I thought, even though I didn't really like the colours. I'm quite happy with that. We've got the alpaca blend and another one, I think it's merino merino and alpaca. And then we've got the silk blend one as well. So yeah, there you have it. That's all of them spun up. I shall probably put them into a weaving project as there's not much of each. Time to spin another. This is a mix of, again, it's botany lat waste, but it was a mix of natural browns and greys. And I'm actually going to try and spin this one really fine because I've been watching Sadie's Spincraft, and she does such lovely fine yarns, and I find mine are always either Aran weight or, you know, even thicker than that sometimes, which I do like, but I really want to try and do a thinner yarn. So I'm going to attempt to spin on Hetty today and see if I can get a thinner yarn, which at the moment I'm not doing too bad, but when I ply it up, which I think I'm going to do 2 ply, it depends, you know, then how thick it will go. So I'll try my best. Here is my next spin, and you can see it's in the sunshine. It's nice and glistening. I think it's got some silk in it, some merino, some other kind of wool, and not Angelina, but it's like that. I can't think of the word now. It's ever so pretty, and it's looking like that. As well as crafting, I do like a bit of growing my own vegetables. At the moment, my conservatory is my little greenhouse. Even though I do have a greenhouse outside, I prefer to grow them in here because it's slightly warmer. And at the moment, it's just so cold here still in the UK. So I've got them all growing here on my windowsills. We've got some potatoes ready to go in. I've prepared the big buckets for them. Lots of different tomatoes. I think I've got 4 or 5 varieties there. A few more there. I've got a couple of, squeeze back here, a couple of lemon trees growing from seed there. In here we have some peppers that have just started to come through. Onions haven't started to come through. Cucumbers, they've just started to come through. We've got some kohlrabi. Loads of different flowers because I fancied some pretty flowers this year. Some cosmos, some sweet peas. We're growing some wildflowers there. My peas haven't come out. And I got some herbs. Oh, a couple of lovely pepper plants, but I can't take credit for those because I bought them like that from the garden centre. And some, what we've got over here, we've got some salad leaves. And then I think in there we've got more onions, but they're not actually growing. You can see my little greenhouse outside there. So hopefully the weather will start to warm up and I can put them all into their position. I've also got some veggie beds in the garden too. So I'm looking forward to planting it all up. Me again. So the brown that you saw me spinning up quite fine, I wanted to test that it wasn't overspun because now I'm doing finer yarns. I find that maybe I'm a bit concerned that I'm going to do them so tight that they're just really rough against your skin. So in the end, I only did a small part of that and it turned out like that, which was all right. It's quite soft. It's not bad at all. I was quite pleased with that. And it's really quite thin for me because normally I'm a chunky yarn spinner. Let's see if I can just show you. Oh, no, there we go. That's not bad, is it? So yeah, I might continue to do that one, that thin. We'll see. So it's like a little test piece, really. The red spun up lovely. Look at that. That's really pretty. I do like that. That's really nice. There's some glittering bits of gold in there. I don't know if the camera will pick them up very well. But as you can see, that's a lot thicker. Again, not too bad, but I am a thicker, you know, like to spin thicker. And at the moment I'm also doing a breed study, which I keep talking about, and I am going to do a video on it. And so I spun up some Portland, rare breed Portland yarn here, because I needed a bit just to test. And this is where I get the fleeces from my local farm, and I actually process the whole fleece myself. So yeah, that's not commercially bought, that's done by me, so I'm quite proud of that one. And then what have we got left? Oh yeah, I think actually, did I show you the brown one? I can't remember if I'm supposed to show this one to you or not, actually, because I film random bits when I sort of need to film them. So I can't remember. I'm piecing together so many videos at the moment. I can't actually remember. But I think this was one that was in the basket, actually. Yeah, I think it was at the very beginning of the video. And that is really soft. That's come up really pretty. I like that one. And then I've just started again on that breed study, and I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly, but it's called Bergerschaft's top, something like that. I'm not very good with my words. And that was quite a nice fibre to spin up. And again, I've only done a small bit, as you can see here. I haven't actually washed it yet and set the twist, but that's quite nice actually. It's quite, I don't know if it's a bit ropey. It might be better once I've actually set it in some water, because that tends to sort of open up the fibres and make them a bit softer sometimes. Can also shrink them or expand them too. So yeah, that is that. There we go. That's quite pretty too. I might actually dye these white ones, give them a bit of colour. There we go. Spinning this into this. If you watched my previous video on the unboxing from World of Wool, in there was some botany lap waste, and one of my favourite colours was the pink, which I've spun up, and that's really quite pretty. I don't know if you can catch the colour there. And yeah, that turned out quite nice. It's quite squidgy and soft. I think it was merino and sari silk. The sari silk made it a bit lumpy and bumpy to spin, which is why it's more like an art yarn. It's quite chunky. I didn't actually spin it very thin. There we go. Another spin this week, part of my breed study. This is grey cheviot. I've spun it reasonably fine for me again, I think. Well, quite fine. It's a bit rough, so I'm wondering if I spun it a bit thicker, whether it might have been a bit softer. I might experiment and try, because I didn't do the whole 100 grams. I did about 25, something like that, I think. Yeah, there we go. I do love a good charity shop. And one week I went into one where my parents live and found this cotton yarn for £1. Absolute bargain. It looks like it's all on there. And then I found these other three a couple of weeks later in a different charity shop, more local to me. And these are actually all linen. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to create with them yet, but again, they were like £1.50 each, I think. And when I googled the company, which was Texir Yarns, they actually don't exist anymore, so that was quite interesting, but they were a British company. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them, but I'm really pleased I found these, because I know they will come in handy and they can go into my stash. I think I might have come up with an idea to use these and have a linen and cotton mix. Previously, quite a few years ago, I made what I term a medicine bag. The Native American Indians carry these medicine bags around their necks with their sacred items in, which has got, this one's got a few of my items in, and I made this one. It's a bit dirty, really. Been wearing it that much. Quite a few years ago now. So I'm wondering whether I might replicate this with the linen. I'm not sure what the colours look like together, but I mean, at the end of the day, I can give it a go. If they look successful, then I might put them in my shop. You could also use them for coins or for smaller items. You can actually hang it over your shoulder as well. So I'll get back to you with what this looks like when I've crocheted it up. Here's my prototype made from the linen. It's really weird to work with. It's a bit like, do you remember raffia? Making raffia weavings as a child? Showing my age now. Yeah, it was a bit like that. It's kind of stuck together and it kept splitting. If you look at the ends here, they're quite, I don't know if the camera will get that, but they keep coming apart easily. That was a bit frustrating. So I was getting bits all over the place. But it looks all right, but the trouble is you've got big gaps. I don't really want big gaps. So I'm not sure this particular design will work for one of these. I'm going to have to think again. I might try some hand spun. I don't know. I'll get back to the drawing board and get back to you guys if I come up with a solution. Next to spin up, I'm going to be spinning this, which I think it's merino and silk. I always get it's merino. It's ever so soft. It was botany lap waist, so I'm really never, positive about the fibres, but I'm going on touch and it feels sort of silky. It could be another kind of fibre, but it's pretty colours. So I'm going to be spinning this one up on Julia here. So she's just do a fine single. Then I'm going to come over to Dolly and I'm actually going to coarse spin round some more fibre and make it into a beehive art yarn. The single is spun. That's quite pretty. It's a bit thick, bit thin, which is what I want to make the beehive yarn. In the end, I attempted the beehive yarn, spinning on Dolly there, but as you can see, I didn't quite get there. I attempted it, it wasn't really working, so I decided to just do my normal Navajo ply, chain three ply, yeah, whatever it's called. I decided to just do that and make a normal yarn in the end. I did use Dolly over there, which was good because I haven't used her for a while, but yeah, it didn't really work. I think it could have been too slippery, and also the fibre, the cotton that I was trying to put it on wasn't really gripping this particular fibre, so it didn't work and I couldn't be bothered to keep tackling the problem. So there we go, that is another one off the list from the lap waist. And a little update on my painting so far. I've sort of worked on these leaves, which, yeah, I don't mind them, they're okay. I will be going round them in black ink. You can see sort of the story of this in my previous video, which I'll link below. And yeah, they're coming on okay. I did actually start the first layer of the green leaves down here as well. So in amongst all the spinning and everything else in this week's vlog, I have also been doing a tiny bit of painting, but not that much. But it's coming along okay. Here's the start of my little button. It's quite cute, isn't it? Not too bad at all. It's going to go on the little medicine bags. I'd rather make my own out of natural materials, wood. I think they look lovely. I've got to drill a couple of holes in them there. I might even burn a little design into them. I'm not sure yet. I'll probably have to give them a bit of a sand as well. Maybe a bit of an oil or wax or something like that. Here are the buttons. They're not too bad for the first attempt of making buttons. I drilled the holes in and I've waxed them all over. Oh, dropped it. And I've also burnt some little pattern around the edge, doing a bit of pyrography there. And these will go in my little medicine bags, which I will show you later on in the video when I've sewn this one on. Totally random, but adding it into the vlog anyway. I've just made myself some raw chocolate. This one's got peanut butter in, and a bit of that has, and the ones at the bottom there are just plain. It's actually really tasty, and obviously it's so much better for you than the shop bought chocolate. Has 3 ingredients: cacao butter, cacao powder, and I've put honey in, but if you wanted a vegan option, you could always just put in something like maple syrup or argyle sugar. That's how you say it. Yeah, I haven't made any for quite a few years, but I decided to, you know, give it another go because it's ever so good for you. It looks yummy. I could eat it all. I've got an update on the, it was hand-dyed lace weight yarn, and I was not sure what to make with it because I only got the one ball. So I did start crocheting this in another video, and this is how big it's got, which isn't particularly big at the minute. I don't mind making it, but I do a few rows and I get a bit bored. But in itself, it's actually quite pretty. So I will stick with it because I don't know what else to make with it. And yeah, there we go. And that's an update on the crocheted shawl. An update on the medicine bags. Gave up with that, as I said earlier. It was all right, but what I think I might do is use those up yarns here for just doing a plain woven or crocheted medicine bag rather than trying to do a specific design because it's too gappy. Whereas if I just did rows of single crochet, it will be more firmer. So I've come up with a prototype. It's a design I've done myself, and that's what I was wondering about doing the linen in, so that it's all more solid, because you can see the stitches are close together. And yeah, it works really well actually. This literally is the prototype because I'm gonna give it away. So that's one of my funny buttons. I was experimenting with a bit more of a design around the edge, and I did a heart in the middle, which you now can't see because I've sewn over it. So that didn't work. And also it was waxed in a darker mahogany wax, and I wasn't very keen on that. I prefer the lighter ones, like so, a bit more natural for me. So yeah, that's the prototype. If I can open it up one-handed, I will show you. I don't think I can on this one. No, we won't bother with that. Anyway, that is it. You can wear it over your shoulder. You can wear it around your neck. But I didn't really like the two-tone colours. The blue's all right, but I wanted something a bit more arty, a bit more chunky, a bit more exciting. So this is the one I've come up with, which I really like. It's made out of hand spun textured yarn, so an art yarn, which was coarse spun. I've added tassels, and obviously I've put my handmade button on. I really like that one. I think I'm happy with that because it showcases some of my art yarns. They'll all be completely original because all my art yarns are original. Yeah, it shows it off nicely. It's got a bit of difference to it. It's more my kind of thing. So you can wear it around your neck like so. You could pop your keys in it, some coins in it. You could pop, I don't know, all your sacred items in it, which was the idea of the medicine bag that the Native Americans use. You could even do this and pop it over your shoulder and pop your, yeah, have it as a little mini handbag. I suppose a phone might just fit in it. But yeah, I'm really, really pleased with that one. So I'm going to now go over, I shall show you over here. I'll just turn you around 1 minute. As you can see here, I have a huge box of hand spun yarns, another one on top, which are all in my shop. So plenty to choose from. So I'm going to choose some more chunky ones to have a go at making a couple of more of the medicine bags. I thought about using that one and maybe a 3-tone one. Turn it around here. I don't know if you can see the colours through the bag very well. Yeah, and then I've got some brilliant in the top box, some core spun art yarns which I might use. I thought that was quite pretty, but again it might be too flat for me. I'm thinking more of using a chunkier, more textured yarn. I love the colours of this, but again it might be too thin. I might give it a go, see what I think. So I think the next plan of action is to have a go at creating a couple more with different yarns and experiment a bit, and also with the linen. I'll have a go at the linen as well, but I definitely like that other one I've made, and that shall be going in my shop at some point. So my dad's socks are finally finished. There we go. That's what they look like. The hand dyed yarn turned out really nicely. I hope they're not too bright for him. If not, I'm going to have them myself because I quite like them. But yeah, there you are. There's the socks. And while I'm at it, I've also made a, let me just grab it. Oh, it's all tangled up. Hang on a minute. I've made another medicine bag, pixie pouch, whatever you want to call it. And I've also experimented making another little one, all out of my hand spun yarns. And this one, if I can work out where the ties are, oh, it's inside out. Put it in the right way, it helps, doesn't it? So this one is a drawstring pouch like that, and I'm just attaching a little thing to go around your neck, and that's that one. I'm not quite sure whether I might just keep that one and not pop that in my shop. Don't really know. I'm going to make a decision when I've finished sewing that on. I think that is finally everything I need to show you this month. So I hope you have enjoyed this vlog, and I'll be back with a video next week, week after, something like that. Thanks ever so much for watching, and if you could like and subscribe, that would be wonderful too. Take care everybody, lots of love. Bye.